Hi friends, it's Peggy Noe from Pretty Paper Cards. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm here with my little baby Ellie. Ellie had a bath this morning, and we always I blow her dry and put the bow in and everything, and she is very fluffy today. I thought I might show you. I don't know if you can really see totally, but she is just an absolute ball of fluff. It takes a couple days for her hair to kind of go down a little bit. So she's really a fun ball of fluff today. I'm checking to be sure I'm live on my Facebook page. I always like to check to make sure I did everything right. So let's see. How are you today? How are things going for you today? It's kind of the middle of the summer, isn't it? Yeah, it's just the middle of the summer, and it's warm and lazy days, and a perfect time to make cards, And it has been a very big week at Stampin' Up! There has been a brand new catalog. The August to December 2020 mini catalog has gone live, and that happened earlier this week on Tuesday. So all of those beautiful products are available, and we had that happen. We had a brand new store, a new online store. It's all fresh and pretty and lots of better graphics. It's really fun to shop, a little different. You have to remember your password just that first time, and then you can have your computer remember it like you did before. But it is a beautiful new store, more searchable, everything is better. And we as demonstrators got to pre-order the brand new standard Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and we are just so excited. Hey Christy, hey Sue, hey Allison, good to see you, you made it. Hey Anthony, lots of friends on today. Thank you so much for popping on. Well, I wanted to chat about those of you who share. I love it when you share Facebook Live. There's a button there on your screen, and you click share, and you share it to a friend so that a friend could learn too and see what we're doing. And last week we had 5 shares. I was so proud of you guys, and let me just get my little thing here. The prize for sharing last week was these beautiful, they're retired, but they are the Share What You Love pearls, and they are gorgeous. And another Peggy Bell won. She shared, and I was so thankful that she did. Out of there were 5 shares. And so Peggy, if you just private message me in Facebook with your address, I'll get those out to you right away. And for next week, if you share this video, this Facebook Live, I'm going to give you a package of linen thread. Linen thread is something that I use a lot of. I go through lots of this. It's a basic, and it's so fun for your cards. So if you share, I'll put you in the random number generator and see if you're picked to win, and then I send it to you the following week. Okay, well, we're all here for the debut of the big machine. It's not really that big, but it's the big debut. So I'm going to put Ellie down and let her take her nap. And we are going to look at the new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And I'm going to show it to you now. And here it is. It is so pretty. I want to make sure you can see it real clearly. It is really, really pretty. I mean, a lot of people, I heard that someone is even thinking of naming theirs. Can you believe it? Giving a name to your little machine, but it is very pretty. I love that it closes up to this nice storable size. Not adorable, although it is adorable, but storable. And it's white, which makes it look really nice. And I want to show you a couple things on it. I'm going to turn it a little. So on each side, there is this beautiful Stampin' Up! Insignia, and I don't know if you can see it really well, but it is metal. I don't know if you, can you see? Yeah, there I've got it, so it was shining a little bit. It is really nice, and it's on both sides, so it looks quite official, quite fancy. And then it has a really nice grippable handle to hold on to when you're running things through, and then here is the handle that you turn to move things through. So I bet you're saying, how does it work? I wonder how it works. And so let's open it up and see. And it is really nice. The top and the bottom, the two sides move from top to bottom. I'll just go with one at a time. And you just pull them down and they open up like that. And inside, the inside is kind of a plastic, a gray plastic with some kind of lines on it that will hold, gripping, kind of gripping. And it is, isn't that beautiful? Now I was thinking about how it compares to the Big Shot. I think actually it might be a little wider in here, but it's, I believe, I didn't measure, but I think it's a little bit shorter this way. So but for the fact that it closes up really nice, it takes less space for storage. So, the other thing I want to show you is, look on the inside, on each side, also the pretty metal insignia. I really like that. I think that's really pretty. So I'm going to put it like this. And now I'm going to show you the plates, okay? So again, it's called the Stampin' Cut and Emboss Machine. And it cuts dies and embosses. Oh, and I did forget to tell you one thing. Let me put the sides up. It does make a bit of a noise. A little click. I wanted to show you the handle. Now, when you get it, the handle is not on. You have to put it on yourself. And I am a bit mechanically challenged. Computer, not as much. I mean, I'm pretty good on the computer. But mechanically, not so much. So this was not on, but I figured it out. And if I can do it, anybody can do it. All you do is you put the handle itself on a little, there's a little something that sticks out there. Then you drop in a little something and a screw. It could be a washer, I think. And you screw it on with, hey Ann, you screw it on with this little cute little thing. And I read about it, and I read the instructions because I thought, what is that? What am I going to say? So it's, even though it's so teeny, it's called an Allen wrench. And you just twist it a few times right in there and you're all done. And then there's a little plastic thing you pop on, a kind of rubber, and it's all done, ready for many, many years of use. So I just want to tell you that if you get it, you'll have to just screw that in, but again, not a big deal. I was able to figure it out. So let's put our sides down and we're going to look at the plates. In fact, I might move this off to the side and have us just look at the different plates. It comes with every plate that you are going to need. It does not come with replacement plates, but it comes with everything you'll need. And these are the instructions that come with it to start. But really, it's in a lot of languages. And so only this first page, it kind of tells you how to put the handle on. That's really the only thing. So here are the different plates. You have 5, but the wonderful thing about them is that they are numbered. We love that, right? Because that'll help us to know, hey Linda, how to make our sandwiches. We call it a sandwich. That's how you structure the plates with your paper and whatnot. And so it's wonderful. Look up here. Can you see right up there in the top corner? It's the right-hand corner. Numbers that tell us what plate we're using. And this one has a 4, if you can see that. And then on this one, this is your base plate. This is thick, about 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch thick. This is your base plate, and it has a number 1. This is always what you put down first. And then it has the instructions for each thing that you're going to do. So for using dies, you do this, standard embossing folder and 3D embossing folder, and I'm going to show you. So for standard dies, it says you, and it has the picture, so you really don't even need to read it. It says number 1, this is number 1, the base plate. Number 2, you add number 2, the die plate, and you add number 3, the cutting plates. And there are 2 cutting plates. You're familiar with that. With the Big Shot, it's the same, top and bottom. So that's for us, it's pretty much standard like we had before. This is for cutting dies. Then for doing your standard embossing, let's read what it says here. So just for a standard embossing folder, you use number 1 and your 2 clear plates, the 2 number 3s. You put your embossing folder in the center like that. And then for 3D embossing folders, you use number 1, the base plate, and here's where you get number 4 comes in. It's called a specialty plate. And so you put your embossing folder in the center there, and that's how you would run your sandwich through. Got it? And we're going to practice it. And I think it's great that we have the numbers, and so you really can never make a mistake. Hey, Tammy, good to see you. So now I had a question that came to me yesterday regarding the machine, and the question was, are these clear plates, the cutting plates, the same as with the Big Shot? And they are. I mean, I don't know if Stampin' Up! Would say that, but here's what I did. I got out some of my old ratty Big Shot plates. I ran it through the new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine with these plates, cut like a dream, no problem. So I don't think you're going to have any problems either. I think if you have some extras of these, of the previous Big Shot plates, clear plates left over, keep them on hand because they could be extras for you. You get the cutting plates with your machine, but those others do fit. And so that's a good thing to know. That's a very good thing to know. Okay, let's make a card. I have a card for us to make today where we're going to use some of all of these fun things. But first, before we make the card, I do want to do some demonstration cuts. Okay, so I'm going to put this here, hopefully so you can see it. And the first thing we're going to do is just do a standard die cut. So we have numbers 1, 2, and 3. Plates 1 and 2, a 3 on the bottom. And then what we're going to do, I thought we would cut using some of the new celebration dies that I like so much. And I'm going to put them right on like that. Put my other number 3 on the top. There's a number 3 on the bottom, a number 3 on the top. And I'm actually going to stand up just to get a little more force on it, just because I was at an angle. And we're going to run that right through, and you hold on to the top just like you do with your Big Shot. And there it comes. Whoops, sorry. And there it comes. Now, one thing, I was talking so you couldn't hear, but it is so quiet. Very easy to run the handle through. And look at this, perfect. Perfect cutting, look at that. We got both of our dies cut. Let's see, very nice, very nice. Okay, now I want to show you a standard embossing folder. So this little embossing folder, this is one of the ones in the new annual catalog. It's called the Greenery. It's a set of 2. It's 3.5 by 6 1/4 inches, and it's a real nice little pattern. So I've got a piece of rich raspberry cardstock that I'm going to put in there, and we're going to run this through. Now let's look back at our instructions so we can make sure to do it right. We're going to use plate number 1, our base plate, and just our 2 number 3 plates, okay? Got those. And we're going to put our embossing folder right inside, like that, and run it through. And let's get it up there so you can see it a little bit more. And here we go. I'm not going to talk because I want you to hear it. There's hardly any sound. Whoops. except for that last sound where it popped out. But isn't it nice? It's nice and secure, and look at the beautiful impression it makes. Just gorgeous, just gorgeous. Okay, now for the third demonstration, we're going to do a dynamic textured impressions, we're going to emboss using a dynamic embossing folder, is what I meant to say. Okay, so and this is one of the new ones in the new catalog called Evergreen Forest, and we're going to use this on our card today. It's, look at those beautiful trees. And I'm going to put a piece of brushed gold, it might be brass, paper right up there like that. And for this one, we use the base plate, and then we put our embossing folder on, and then we use this number 4, the specialty plate. Okay, and we're gonna run that through, and I'm gonna be quiet so you can hear it. Wasn't that nice? It really, I say it's smooth as butter. I've been saying that all morning to myself. It's just smooth as butter. Easy to do, and there is our beautiful brushed brass embossed piece. Isn't that gorgeous? So what do you think? Isn't it a beautiful machine? I love it. I totally love it. I'm so happy that I got it, and we're going to use it once or twice more as we create our card today. So let's she hates to cut in. Linda says she hates to cut into the brand new plates. I totally understand. Okay, now let's make our card. And let me see here. I've got all kinds of stuff going on. I'm going to move my machine over to the side while we create our card, if I can find my sample. Here it is. I wanted to show you some of the things we can do with the new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So I've got the embossed, this is the brass, and as compared to the gold, I don't know if you can see that difference. It's just a little bit darker. And I love that folder, so we've got that on a base of, I'm talking about bases, on a card base of Pretty Peacock. So I'm going to pull that out here and use my bone folder. I've just got a big mess here, don't I? Let's see if we can get this sort of organized. Okay, so we're going to put our brass embossed piece right on there, and I'm going to use my multi-purpose glue. Now, one thing I want to recommend, I'm adding more glue than I normally would to this lower embossed area, and the reason is because it tends to curl up. I noticed the foil itself, because it's so embossed in there. This is it's got quite a bit of embossing, and it curled a little bit, and I noticed if I put more glue, it would stick down better. And I'm gonna hold it for a few minutes down here. You can even see with the sample I did that it does curl up just a tiny bit down here at the base. I think that'll release when it's completely dry, and it'll look normal, but right for the beginning, I'm gonna hold it down. Okay, so that's our first layer, and isn't that, I mean, you could almost just send that card all by itself, couldn't you? Isn't that gorgeous? I'm trying to get it so where you can see it. Isn't that just beautiful? Alrighty, now the next thing we're gonna do is we're going to add a dove. I'm just still playing around with the beautiful dove. I'm going to hold this a few more minutes. The beautiful Dove of Hope stamp set. And we're going to use this little dove down here today, and we're going to stamp that dove in Pretty Peacock. So let me get my stamp pad. And this is a cling stamp, so we don't need to use the extra pad. And there, I've got my finger right in the ink. Let me get some Kleenex. Goodness sakes. Okay, so we're going to stamp this sweet little dove right down here. And the pretty peacock color is so beautiful. It's striking. I wanted to use a striking color because the metallic look is on its own pretty striking. And now we're going to run this through the embossing folder, excuse me, through the die cutting machine, and we're going to cut this with one of the detailed dove dies. And where is it? I think I had it set out here. Oh, here it is. I see it. Okay. There's a lot going on here today. This is a very fun day. Lots of stuff. Hey, Megan, how are you? Okay, so for this one, we're just cutting a standard die. So all we need is our base plate, our die plate, one of our clear plates, our piece of paper with our die, and another clear plate right on top. Let me see if I can get that little guy. Okay, now we're going to put this on, and we're just going to run that through. Hear how quiet it is? That's it, just like that. Beautiful cut. Beautiful cut. First time, gorgeous, easy. Wasn't hard at all. Now I'm going to give the dove just a tiny, tiny little dot because the dove has a little, can you see the little dove? The dove has like a little berry, so I'm going to color that berry just with the real red Stampin' blend, just to give a bit of interest. Now let's put the dove on our card using a couple of Stampin' Dimensionals. And I like this card because I think it really shows off the beautiful embossing folder. It's called the Evergreen Embossing Folder. Isn't that what I said? Evergreen, I think. Yeah. Sometimes I forget the names of things, but you guys can always help me. So here's our little dove, and I wanted to put the dove in an area that wouldn't really show wouldn't cover that much of this beautiful embossing. Okay, now let's do a sentiment. And I decided to do from the beautiful Dove of Hope stamp set, I just want to have peace on there. I just want to do the word peace. So, again, I've just got everything piled up here. There's my envelope. There's my insides. Here it is. Okay, so I'm just gonna, I have a 1/2-inch strip of Whisper White cardstock, and I'm going to stamp, if I can find my stamp, here it is, the Peace, Love, and Joy stamp. And I'll show you how we're just gonna cut off everything except that word peace. So I'm just gonna stamp over to the side, and that fits pretty much right on the 1/2-inch. If I said quarter, that was a mistake. It's a 1/2-inch piece of Whisper White cardstock. And then I'm going to take my little paper snips, and do you see how there's just a little tiny dot right here between peace and joy? I'm going to do a flagged end and just come in like that right behind that dot on both sides. I have to get a little bit closer here. Okay, there's my flagged end, and what I'm going to do is just put peace right down there, just right at the side, just subtly, so it doesn't take away from the beauty of this embossed metallic piece of paper that has been embossed so beautifully. I'm going to use a couple of mini dimensionals to secure it on. When you are securing things onto the metallic paper, it's best to use dimensionals or glue dots. They work the best. Whoops, that just wants to come off there. And then we're going to just put it down right like this, right up to the left corner, just like that. Isn't that pretty? Nice and subtle. Hi, Anthony. Thank you. I think it's real pretty. Now, because we used a card base of Pretty Peacock cardstock, we're going to want to stamp on our, I've created an inside piece of Whisper White, and I want to stamp the dove in there just for interest. And I'm also going to stamp the dove on the envelope because you just need a little something, something, right? Okay, so here's the dove on the inside piece, and here's my envelope. And this way, when the person gets it in the mail, I mean, who else's envelope is going to have a beautiful dove like that on it, right? Your card is going to be very special when your friends receive it. Okay, so now all we have to do is we're going to glue the inside piece onto the card base, just like that, and we're done. And then I have a hint for you, a special embossing folder hint. Okay, so we're just going to press that down. Hey, Christy, thank you. You know, we can all make gorgeous cards because these products are so beautiful. I'm serious. You know, the artwork on these stamps and images, you know, I don't know what the specific word is, but the artwork, what they have done, that's one thing I love about Stampin' Up! Is the products are just beautiful. So there is our card. I just love it. And again, it's really just because of this beautiful stamp and die set. Now, what I want to talk to you about is, so you need to know about your embossing folders, right? You need to know which embossing folders are 3D. I'm going to come back here now. Which embossing folders are 3D and which ones are standard. And it's sometimes, you know, I just got them all here and I'm wondering which are which. Well, one of my downline, a friend of mine, Donna, today told, I think it was yesterday actually, she told me what she does, and I wanted to pass this on to you because I have gone ahead and done it. Let's find the embossing folders that I used. So I used, oh no, I have to go back, okay. I used the Evergreen embossing folder, and I also used the greenery one. And the Evergreen folder is a 3D, the greenery folder is a standard. So what Donna told me to do is to go in with a Sharpie and put a dot on each folder that is a 3D. She puts a dot on her 3D folder so she knows what they are. Now, I could have put a gigantic dot or written across it, but just me, I'm kind of more subtle. So I put a little pink dot there next to the Stampin' Up! Name on the back of the embossing folder. Can you see that? And I used my pink Sharpie. You know, pink is my favorite color. So now when I pick up an embossing folder, I'm going to know, is it a 3D or not? And that tells me the plates that I need to use. And the particular plate you use with the 3D with our new machine is the specialty plate. You just use the base plate and the specialty plate and put the folder right in between. So I wanted to give that to you as a hint and recommend to you that you somehow mark your 3D. Whoa, my light fell down. I did have it kind of precarious there, but I wanted you to be able to see everything. Sorry. I'll turn it off. There we go. Things happen, right? Okay, let's come back. So I hope this has really helped you and given you some good tips. And I love the new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. It'll be available for customers on September 1st. It's $120 US, and it's very well worth it. I recommend that you get it. If you're a demonstrator, you can get it right now. And if you'd like to become a demonstrator, you can become a demonstrator even today and just sign up with me. You would be under me and I would help you. And you can get the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine as part of your starter kit and get it right away just like I did. And I would love to have you on my team. It's called the Sweet Stampers, and a couple of my Sweet Stampers are on here right now. So I hope this has helped, and I pray that you have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your weekend, and I am on now Wednesdays at 3 and Fridays at 4. Those are my new times. So I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.